Welcome to Seasons of Grace, your daily dose of inspiration. As we journey through the Great Fast, we'll be reading selections from Father Jack Custer's book, Back to the Garden, a Lenten Journey Through Genesis.
Monday of the 6th week of the Great Fast. We read from the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verses 1 through 41. Now Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, and he could not see. And he called Esau his elder son, and said to him, My son? And he answered, Here I am. And his father said to him, You see that I am old, and know not the day of my death. Take your arms, your quiver and bow, and go abroad. And when you have taken something by hunting, make me a savory meal thereof. And you know that I like, and bring it, that I may eat, and my soul will bless you before I die. And when Rebekah had heard this, and he was gone into the field to fulfill his father's commandment, she said to her son Jacob, I heard your father talking with Esau your brother, and saying to him, Bring me from your hunting, and make me a meal that I may eat and bless you in the sight of the Lord before I die. Now therefore, my son, follow my advice, and go your way to the flock. Bring me 2 kids of the best, that I may make of them a meal for your father, such as he gladly eats, which when you have brought in, and he has eaten, he may bless you before he dies. And he answered her, You know that Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am smooth. If my father shall feel me, I fear lest he will think that I have mocked him, and I shall bring upon me a curse instead of a blessing. And his mother said to him, Upon me be this curse, my son. Only hear my voice, and go fetch me the things which I have said. He went and brought and gave them to his mother. She dressed the meats such as she knew his father liked. And she put on him very good garments of Esau, which she had at home with her. And the little skins of the kids she put about his hands, and covered the bare of his neck. And she gave him the savory meat, and he delivered him bread that she had baked. Which when he had carried it in, he said, My father? But he answered, I hear. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done as you did command me. Arise, sit, and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Isaac said to his son, How could you find it so quickly, my son? He answered, It was the will of God, that what I sought came quickly my way. And Isaac said, Come here, that I may feel thee, my son, and may prove to myself whether you be my son Esau or not. He came near to his father. And when his father had felt him, Isaac said, The voice indeed is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he knew him not, because his hairy hands made him like to his older brother. Then blessing him, he said, Are you my son Esau? He answered, I am. Then he said, Bring me the meats of your hunting, my son, that my soul may bless thee. And when they were brought, and he had eaten, he offered him wine also, which after he had drunk, he said to him, Come near me, and give me a kiss, my son. He came near, and kissed him. And immediately, as he smelled the fragrant smell of his garments, blessing him, he said, Behold, the smell of my son is as the smell of a plentiful field, which the Lord has blessed. God give you the dew of heaven, and of the fatness of the earth, abundance of corn and wine, and let people serve you, and tribes worship you. Be you the Lord of your brothers, and let your mother's children bow down before you. Cursed be he that curses you, and let him that blesses you be filled with blessings. Isaac had scarce ended his words when Jacob, being now gone out abroad, Esau came, and brought into his father meats made of what he had taken in hunting, saying, Arise, my father, and eat of thy son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said to him, What? Who are you? He answered, I am your firstborn son, Esau. Isaac was struck with fear, and astonished, and wondering beyond what can believed, said, Who is he that even now brought me venison that he had taken, and I ate of all before you came in? And I have blessed him, and he shall be blessed. Esau, having heard his father's words, roared out with a great cry, and being in a great consternation, said, Bless me also, my father. And he said, Your brother came deceitfully, and got your blessing. But he said again, Rightly is his name called Jacob, for he has supplanted me, lo, this second time. My first birthright he took away before, and now this second time he has stolen away my blessing. And again he said to his father, Have you not reserved me also a blessing? Isaac answered, I have appointed him your lord, and have made all his brothers his servants. I have established him with corn and wine, and after this, what shall I do more for you, my son? And Esau said to him, Have you only one blessing, father? I beseech you, bless me also. And when he wept with a loud cry, Isaac, being moved, said to him, In the fat of the earth, and in the dew of heaven from above, shall your blessing be. You shall live by the sword, and shall serve your brother, and the time shall come when you shall shake off and loose his yoke from your neck. Esau therefore always hated Jacob for the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him. And he said in his heart, The days will come of the mourning of my father, and I will kill my brother Jacob. There's a cliche that says, God writes straight with crooked lines. The reason it's become a cliche is because it's true. God very often accomplishes his purpose by using highly imperfect people and unexpected situations. This week we read excerpts from the life of Jacob the patriarch and his sons. Jacob is the ultimate crooked line, always looking for an angle and ready to deceive to get what he wants. His name means supplanter, one who takes another's place by deceit and trickery. From the womb, Jacob was looking for the advantage. We're told in Genesis that he and his brother Esau struggled in the womb, causing distress for their mother Rebekah. The Lord told her that this struggle would go on and that the elder was destined to serve the younger. Esau was born first, but Jacob was not far behind. He was born holding Esau by the heel. Later, Jacob would trick his hungry brother into selling his birthright for some stew. Esau was a strong man, a man of action, a hunter and outdoorsman, whereas Jacob was a homebody. And yet, it was the seeming nobody who God chose to be the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. In today's reading, Jacob uses trickery to steal his brother's blessing, thus becoming head of the family. He deceives his father Isaac and cheats his brother Esau, all at the instigation of their mother, Rebekah. And you thought your family was dysfunctional. Although some spiritual writers put a good face on it, Rebekah's and Jacob's trickery were clearly wrong. And yet, God uses the sinful action to bring about good. It's interesting to note that when he speaks to Isaac, Jacob mentions the Lord your God. Jacob seems to have no relationship with God at this point in his life. There are idols in his life, but no God. The idols of deceit, trickery, and lust for power. St. Ephraim's prayer warns us against the lust for power, and yet, like Jacob, the way of power is what we crave. Not just power as is usually thought of, the ability to control others and to have our way with people and situations, but also that lust which is attracted to power, to the accomplished, the beautiful, and those who might wield power on our behalf. This is Jacob and Rebekah's way, deceit in the pursuit of power. The way of the cross, in contrast, is the way of failure, ugliness, and weakness. The crucified Lord is all these things, an ignominious failure tortured to death by those who believe they are his enemies. Unlovely as he hangs beaten and naked on a tree, helpless and weak, immobile and at the mercy of all who pass by. And yet, the Church holds this event of weakness, ugliness, and failure to be a great triumph, a supreme victory. We exalt and venerate and bow before the cross, which is the instrument of our salvation. We cannot help but feel love and gratitude for the King of the universe who, unlike Jacob, gives up power in order to rescue those he loves, to, in a mysterious way, draw all men to himself and take away the sins of the world. In this love and gratitude, the Lord's weakness, ugliness, and failure become our strength and beauty and victory. For reflection, how does the cross show me what real victory means in my own life? How can the power of the cross turn my weakness into victory?
Thank Thank you for listening to Seasons of Grace. If you would like to send this episode to a friend or listen again, please visit godwithusradio.org. You can also find previous and future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and almost everywhere podcasts are available. A special thank you to Eastern Christian Publications for their permission to present Back to the Garden in this format.